and welcome to Parliament Weekly, your home for the biggest, juicy and most important news out of the Nigerian Parliament every week. I am Sharon Abresumi. The Senate and the House of Representatives have passed the 2022 Supplementary Appropriation Act Amendment Bill 2023, containing 500 billion naira worth of palliatives to cushion the effect of fuel subsidy removal. This is just as most lawmakers commended the president for his prompt response to the hardship being experienced by Nigerians. The House Minority Leader, Rep. Kingsley Chinda, in reacting to the request on the floor of the Green Chamber, urged the president not to share money to Nigerians in the form of palliatives, but to reduce the cost of electricity tariff.
A palliative that will allow us breathe, not suffocate the ordinary man, like Mr. President said. NEPA bill is very high. We want to see a reduction, sir. It will help Nigerians as part of the palliative. School fees are high. We discussed it on the floor of this chamber. We want to draw the attention of the executive arm to all these sectors as part of the palliatives. If it is approval of 500 billion, which is already in the budget, this House will have no difficulty in doing that. But we want to stand out to see that our people actually are palliated.
The National Assembly had in December 2022 passed a supplementary budget of 819 billion naira for the 2022 fiscal year, extending the implementation of the 2022 budget till March 31st, 2023. Similarly, President Bola Tinubu has requested the approval of both chambers an additional loan facility of $800 million from the World Bank for the National Social Safety Net program. According to the president's letter to the lawmakers, the loan will enable the transfer of 8,000 naira monthly to 12 million poor and low-income households for a period of 6 months, with a multiplier effect on about 60 million individuals. Now, wow, $1 million and billion naira. We really hope that these monies will serve the purpose they are budgeted for. After all, Sidon look no be dog name. I'm sure you can't wait to find out all about the breakdown of this supplementary budget. So hurry to our website at otherpaper.ng for the full details. In another development, the House of Representatives last Tuesday tasked the National Universities Commission, NUC, to immediately halt the implementation of an increment in the tuition fees for federal universities in the country. The directive was contained in a motion sponsored by Rep. Aliyu Sani Madaki, NNPP Kano State, who noted that some universities across the country, citing poor funding of tertiary education and rising inflation, had increased their tuition fees by as much as 200%. He added that hostel fees were also increased by some of the institutions, which include Bayero University in Kano State, the University of Nigeria Nsukka, the University of Uyo, University of Maiduguri, Michael Okpara University of Agriculture, Umudike, and Federal University, Dutse, among others. Before I go on into the next stories, if you've been following us, then I'm sure you already know what I'm about to say. You don't catch me. Anyways, if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, please do so you don't miss out on any of our interesting videos on this channel. Moving things along, the Senate has called on the federal government to raise the level of awareness on the outbreak of anthrax disease, symptoms for early detection and prevention through intensive awareness campaigns to sensitize Nigerians. This is as it also urged the federal government and its relevant agencies to urgently commence a nationwide vaccination of livestock with the anthrax spore vaccine, particularly in border states. These were contained in a motion on the need to address the low level of awareness and preparedness to prevent the outbreak of anthrax in Nigeria, sponsored by Senator Ezenwa Onyewuchi, LP Imo East, at Wednesday's plenary. Also, the 10th Senate last Wednesday set up an ad hoc committee to probe the alleged uneven disbursement of a 483 billion naira loan in 2021 to medium and small-scale enterprise in the 6 geopolitical zones by the Development Bank of Nigeria, DBN. Called last week, a motion on the uneven distribution of DBN's 500 billion naira loan was brought to the Red Chamber, but was stepped down by Senate President Godswill Akpabio following an uproar. This committee constitution followed the adoption of a motion sponsored by Senator Mohammed Ali Ndume, APC Borno, and 64 other senators at Wednesday's plenary. Ndume, who is the chief whip of the Senate, gave a breakdown of the loan disbursement according to the bank's report.
They have what they call participating financial institutions, that is microfinance banks. So far, the bank is using about 64 of them, out of which 60 are in Lagos. 4 only are spread around the other 35 states in the country. And I want to also tell my colleagues that the other developmental finance institutions that they call DFI include Bank of Industry, Bank of Agriculture, Nigeria Export Finance and Import Bank, Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, National Economic Reconstruction Fund, Nigeria Infrastructure Development Bank, and NISA. And I want to tell my colleagues that the ownership of the Developmental Bank, Development Bank of Nigeria specifically, is owned by 60% of it is owned by the federal government of Nigeria. That gives us the power to not only oversight, but also to have a strong say in how the institution discharges its responsibilities.
Finally, some mild drama took place on the floor of the House of Representatives on Wednesday as a yet-to-be-identified lawmaker. Don't worry, we will also identify him soon. He was shown the way out for dressing inappropriately to the plenary. A member of the House from Edo State, Rep. Billy Osawaro, had raised the alarm during Wednesday's plenary as he drew the attention of his colleagues to the mode of dressing, which he said contravened the dress code for members of the House. The lawmaker in question was cited in a red faded sporty t-shirt with casual slippers and brown-colored chinos trousers. It is noteworthy that the said lawmaker was not just inappropriately dressed for the plenary, but came into the chamber 2 hours into the plenary session. Thank you for joining us on this week's episode. Don't forget to read the full details of all our stories on our website at orderpaper.ng. I hope to see you again next week. Goodbye.